Correct. All the way from 2012 to 2016, cannabis market was starting to pay attention to Salinas and they were starting to develop. Well, Monterey County did something different than all the other counties. See, in the state of California, it's a nonprofit organization that typically will do the growing, and a nonprofit organization that operates a dispensary. And at one time, it would be donation at the dispensary, and you're bearing your profit behind the elm tree. Okay. If you want to get into production and you get approval from the state, you would get your 501c, your nonprofit organization, would be approved to grow in about 22,000 square foot and change of a structure. So if you had a 500,000 square foot structure, you were not allowed to grow in more than 22,000 square foot of it. So you had a lot of smaller farms, indoor grow operations throughout the state. Well, Monterey County, and it was its choice, it's perfectly legal, it chose to allow individual companies to have multiple 501c stacked in a single environment. So you could have
Within how many
within
miles
same
radius?
structure. No, same structure.
In the same structure.
So almost like an apartment complex. So you could have a 250,000 square foot structure, 10 501cs, and it's all paperwork primarily. Fill up the entire structure with grow. Well, that scale affects earning mechanics. The cost mechanics go down. Amortized rent, the labor force is now kind of amortized more efficiently. Your grow mechanics change, so the profit goes up. So where an indoor grow might be creating product for $700 a pound, you can generate poundage for 240 to 230, right?
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
So then what we did is, Mike's like, okay, Salinas makes sense. Well, to get a structure, it's going to be a few $1,000,000 to redress, because you're not allowed to erect new structure. You have to literally take the entire structure, take multiple months, tear it down to its bones.
That's Monterey County.
Monterey County, yeah, that's their stipulation.
Not the state.
Not the state, it's county. And that was their way of
helping the farmers,
leveraging the farmers and the valley to get a facelift from they didn't want bankrupt shanty greenhouses with a gleaming Taj Mahal to the next to right of it.
Right.
So they were forcing the valley to get a facelift, and we were happy to comply. It's slightly more expensive, but ultimately good for the county. So we knew we were going to need about $3 million for a prudent and for the investment dollars necessary to seed the farm and to kind of restructure an existing shanty greenhouse. But we need to come up with those dollars. So we raised some money. So March of 2016, we filed with the county, grabbed a lease, LCG, over down the street on Encinal, and it's 58,600 square foot of this broken down, dilapidated greenhouse, and now it's time to raise money. And we went and found about 67 investors. Average investment was probably about 50 grand. Raised about $3.5 million pretty quick. In a few months.
That was before Smart Initiatives?
That was before Smart Initiatives. Okay. So then you had money came in. We had March to April, May, June. We're about done raising. June, July, August, September. We're done build out and planting. September, October, November, first crop cycles out. December, first profitability. About $500,000, about $525,000 in profit, distributed out to the members.
I should have been there.
Yeah.
That's when you should have called me for that.
No, because you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. And then Mike had a smaller farm compared to like a Harborside or a Rocket Farm with 1.5 million or 1.2 million square foot. So it was a little bit more nimble. His prudent reserve expectations were minimal. No ambitious intent with the profitability. No future goals in mind. No real other
just winging it.
Just pull the money in. We're growing. We profited. Here's your money, and distribute fast. There were times when Mike would distribute when the money hadn't hit yet. He was just loaning the money to the members because he's waiting for some of the rest of the revenue to come from some sales. But he just always kept his word. Okay, and then I would say that was December, January, February, about another 400 and change. And then in April, it was another 400 and change. And then he sold the farm. And a lot of the members were like, we had kind of a divided group. Like some of the members were really excited about the annuity, right?
Because they got what?
They're about $1 million. Well, they got $1.3 million, $1.4 million in cash against their $3 million. So they'd already made 40% return on the initial investment while holding their equity. Then the equity was sold. They got all their equity back and called that a profit, right? And that happened within months. But their dream was to see that income cycle and continue. And Mike really came into that space with the goal building the farm, creating reputation, making a profit for the investors, and then getting an extraction facility developed, because that's where the big money is. Well, while we were doing this, a lot of the other farms in the area were also looking to grow, and Zabala was just down the street with 160,000 square foot, a monster. Zabala's a monster.
Most of them were like 22,000, 60,000.
Yeah.
Here's a really big one.
Here's a big one, and Zabala, and you have to understand when you're okay. Back up. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Zabala comes in. They have a small footprint of their entire structure, growing clones, kind of making green. The rest of the structure is dilapidated, just really bad. Okay. Bob Parsons of GoDaddy Venture and a few other institutional firms are swarming around him because he's almost like the perfect storm. Same right size for scale, right size for acquisition, perfect to be included in some public vehicle for multipliers down the road. Everybody is enamored with Zabala. David